Hello, welcome back to Plumbing College. Today I'm going to tell you how to become a plumber from a plumbing tutor's point of view. So I'm going to explain some of the courses available and some of the routes you can do. So this video is aimed at students over 19 years old because over 19 you're classed as adults. If you're under 19, you can still do plumbing, but you have to do a learning program which involves maths and English, tutorials, enrichment. But if you're over 19, you can just focus purely on plumbing. So this is what I'm going to explain about today. So the most popular route for adult learners is we do a plumbing course called a Level 2 Technical Certificate. So it either runs one day a week or 2 evenings a week. If you was doing the one day a week option, half the day would be in the workshop learning practical skills. So see some of my level 2 videos to get an idea of some of the tasks. And the other half of the day, you will be learning theory in a classroom where there's 9 modules: example, hot water, health and safety, cold water, central heating, drainage, communications. And each module has an exam. Do be mindful as well. So I'm speaking from a further education college. Right, there are private training centres which also do these technical certificates, and they do them a lot quicker, like in blocks, like over several weeks, over several months. But be mindful, they can be a lot more expensive than a further education college. And also, if you want to go a private training provider route, make sure that they are legitimate, because at my college, I've had lots of students who have been scammed by these private training companies, and I've then had to teach them at my college. So I'm not saying they're bad, but just make sure that it's a legitimate training provider. Right. Fast forward to the end of the year. At the end of the year, if you pass your course, you will get something called a Level 2 Technical Certificate. Example, in England, the most famous exam body for plumbing is City and Guilds. Right. So once you've got this certificate, it doesn't quite make you a qualified plumber just yet. The reason it doesn't make you a qualified plumber yet is because you don't have real life experience. So you're able to do tasks and understand the theory, but it's all within a college-based environment. So what I then recommend is towards the end of the first year, or once you finish the course, is to find a local plumber to help out for a day, a few days a week. And we call this a plumber's mate. Then once you're confident to do some tasks by yourself, you can then apply to do something called an NVQ Level 2 in plumbing. So this is entirely work-based. There's no going to college involved. There's no college learning because you've done that already. So the NVQ folder consists of doing write-ups of real-life plumbing jobs you've done, and the plumber you work with, will have to just countersign to say it's valid. And also an NVQ on-site assessor would want to come on site several times just to validate all your work. So this NVQ program can be done via the college. So even though you're doing it via the college, so the college do it, but it doesn't mean you have to come into college a whole day. It's just done remotely via an on-site assessor. So you'd have to have an interview with the college, meet the on-site assessor, and they would have to be happy that you've got enough evidence to meet the requirements of what's in the NVQ folder. And it is roughly, as a rule of thumb, the evidence being you need to be able to sort of do three different dwellings, 3 different houses, like plumbing, like 3 different bathrooms, 3 different heating systems, 3 different drainage as a rule of thumb, but you'd have to meet the college, the assessor, and they can then make a decision whether you've got enough the correct work to complete the NVQ. So now you've completed your technical certificate, you've completed your on-site folder. At this stage, you're a qualified plumber. Right, so once you're a qualified plumber with your NVQ2, lots of doors now open up for you. So you're now eligible to do specialist courses, for example, water regulations training, unvented training, renewable energy training, gas safe training. Some of these courses are very short, and if you want to go and be a gas safe engineer, because plumbing and gas have got lots of similarities, the gas course is a lot quicker to do. Right, so that's the most common option we do for our adult learners. The reason being is the learners can still keep their day job and do a bit of learning either over 2 evenings or 1 day a week. So that's the most common option, especially if you've got family and commitments and bills to pay, so you can keep your day job. Right. Also, do note the colleges also do a level 1 technical certificate, but generally we like to start our learners at level 2. But the reason you might want to do a level 1 technical certificate is if you've been out of education for a long time, maybe if English is your second language, this level 1 course will give you a really good opportunity to build up on your English, measuring, terminology, and it will set you up for level 2. But generally, most learners go on to do the level 2 scheme. So what the college would normally do, so if a learner's unsure whether to do level 1 or level 2, we set them up on a diagnostic test where it looks at what level maths and English they're at. And generally, if they're sort of a level 2-ish, working towards level 2, level 1, they're normally okay to do the level 2 plumbing course. But if the scores are a bit lower, like entry 2, entry 1, which is like equivalent to GCSEs, Fs and Gs in my time, then we'll say, well, let's do the level 1 just to get you back into the education mode. Right. And also, the colleges do a level 3 technical certificate. So this is a lot of design and theory, and it's an interesting course. It's mostly design based. There's not a lot of practical in it. Right. So at the end of the level 3 technical certificate, if you do that option, the next route to do is to go back to get your NVQ level 2 to become a qualified plumber. So, and there is one other route you can do, that's called the apprenticeship route. So this involves applying to lots of plumbing companies, looking on the government website for apprenticeships. How it works is 4 days a week you work with your plumber, engineer, and 1 day a week you come to college. So this scheme would last for 4 years, and you will be paid by the plumbing company. But be mindful if you're an adult, because it will be apprenticeship wages to start with, because you're not able to offer much to the company when you start. So if you've got commitments and family, it could be a challenging time. So that's the 2 options that I sort of tell my adult students: either come and do the technical certificate, or look for an apprenticeship. And then, like, generally in the UK, courses start in September, so August is the time to start applying online, and you'll be called in to enrol. Hope that helps. So I look forward to seeing some of you soon at my college, or if I've already taught you, say hi in the messages.